What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about the top 10 American songbook composers, round 1. Thanks so much to all of our Patreon supporters who donate as little as $1 a month to help support this channel. You can check out the perks and information below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with future videos. In addition to the great jazz musicians who've contributed so much to this art form, one could argue that the songs that have been borrowed by these jazz musicians have been equally important to the jazz idiom. And the meeting of the two worlds of early jazz in Chicago, Kansas City, and New Orleans, and the theater world primarily in Tin Pan Alley, was really when the stars aligned in the 1930s and 40s. Not only are so many of these great songs interpreted by thousands of jazz musicians, but also the jazz musicians based many of their own compositions on the harmonic structures of these songs. Let's get to the list. Coming in at number 10, we have Jule Styne. Growing up in Chicago, Styne was a classical piano prodigy and performed with many of the major symphony orchestras before he hit the age of 10. At age 21, he composed his first hit song, Sunday. Later in Hollywood, his dance band was noticed by Frank Sinatra, and Styne began a collaboration with the lyricist Sammy Cahn, writing many songs for the movies, including It's Been a Long, Long Time and I Fall in Love Too Easily. His Broadway scores launched the careers of many stars, including Ethel Merman and Barbra Streisand, and the most notable are Gypsy, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and Funny Girl. Coming in at number 9, we have Harry Warren. Over a 4-decade career, Warren composed more than 800 songs, with 11 Academy Award nominations and 3 Oscars. He wrote the music for the first blockbuster film musical, 42nd Street. His hits include Jeepers Creepers, That's Amore, There Will Never Be Another You, The More I See You, and At Last. His works have been featured in over 300 films, and he was the first major American songwriter to compose primarily for that medium. Coming in at number 8, we have Hoagy Carmichael. Carmichael was one of the most successful Tin Pan Alley songwriters of the 1930s, and one of the first singer-songwriters to utilize television, electronic microphones, and sound recordings. He composed hundreds of songs, including 4 of the most recorded American songs of all time: Stardust, Georgia on My Mind, The Nearness of You, and Heart and Soul. He also collaborated with the lyricist Johnny Mercer on Lazy Bones and Skylark. Carmichael also appeared as an actor and musician in 14 films, hosted 3 musical variety radio programs, and wrote 2 autobiographies. Coming in at number 7, we have Harold Arlen. As a teenager, Arlen had success as a jazz pianist and singer before moving to New York, where he worked as a vaudeville accompanist. He teamed up with the lyricist Ted Koehler, writing shows for the Cotton Club, Broadway musicals, and Hollywood films. Their hit songs include Get Happy, Let's Fall in Love, and Stormy Weather. Arlen moved to California and met the lyricist Yip Harburg, with whom he composed the music for The Wizard of Oz, including the timeless classic Over the Rainbow. In the 40s, Arlen teamed up with the lyricist Johnny Mercer, writing the hit songs Blues in the Night, That Old Black Magic, Come Rain or Come Shine, and One for My Baby. Coming in at number 6, we have Jimmy Van Heusen. Looking back on his career, Van Heusen said that he first took songwriting seriously when he discovered girls. He began composing for Tin Pan Alley publishers, collaborating with the lyricist Johnny Burke, composing Darn That Dream, and later Swinging on a Star. He moved to Hollywood and wrote for films, many of which featured the pop star Bing Crosby. Along with the lyricist Sammy Cahn, Van Heusen became Frank Sinatra's personal songwriter, writing the hit songs All the Way, High Hopes, Love and Marriage, and Come Fly With Me. Van Heusen led a double life. Secretly using another name, he worked as a World War II fighter jet test pilot. In total, he composed over 800 songs, 50 of which have become standards. Coming in at number 5, we have Jerome Kern. Kern wrote more than 700 songs used in over 100 stage works, including Old Man River, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, The Song Is You, All the Things You Are, and The Way You Look Tonight. He collaborated with many of the leading lyricists of his era, including P.G. Wodehouse, Oscar Hammerstein, Dorothy Fields, Johnny Mercer, and Ira Gershwin. A native New Yorker, Kern created dozens of Broadway musicals and Hollywood films in a career that lasted more than 4 decades. Kern incorporated jazz influences with the earlier musical theater tradition, most notably apparent in his masterpiece show, Showboat. Coming in at number 4, we have Cole Porter. After a slow career start, Cole Porter became one of the major Broadway songwriters of the 1930s. Amazingly, he wrote the lyrics and music for all of his songs. After a serious horseback riding incident in 1937, Porter was left disabled, but he continued to work. In 1948, he made a triumphant comeback with his most successful musical, Kiss Me Kate, winning the Tony Award for Best Musical. Many of his songs have become standards, noted for their witty, urbane lyrics, with hits including Night and Day, Begin the Begin, I Get a Kick Out of You, I've Got You Under My Skin, and My Heart Belongs to Daddy. Coming in at number 3, we have Irving Berlin. In his early 20s, Berlin composed his first major international hit song, Alexander's Ragtime Band, which sparked an international dance craze. He couldn't read sheet music and could only play in the key of F sharp using his custom transposing piano. Berlin became known for writing music and lyrics that are uncomplicated, simple, and direct. During his 60-year career, he wrote an estimated 1,500 songs, including 20 Broadway shows and 15 Hollywood films. His hits include Puttin' on the Ritz, Cheek to Cheek, White Christmas, There's No Show Business Like Show Business, and God Bless America. Gershwin called him the greatest songwriter that has ever lived, and Jerome Kern said, Irving Berlin has no place in American music. He is American music. Coming in at number 2, we have Richard Rodgers. With 43 Broadway musicals and over 900 songs to his credit, Rodgers is one of the most significant composers of the 20th century. He had a long, exclusive partnership with the tormented genius lyricist Lorenz Hart, writing many musicals including Pal Joey and Babes in Arms. When Hart passed away due to alcoholism, Rodgers paired up with Oscar Hammerstein, writing musicals including Oklahoma, Carousel, South Pacific, The King and I, and The Sound of Music. His collaborations with Hammerstein brought the Broadway musical to a new maturity, integrating drama and character development rather than light-hearted comedy. Rodgers has won multiple Tonys, Oscars, Grammys, an Emmy, and a Pulitzer Prize. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have George Gershwin. As a young adult, George was composing Broadway theater works with his older brother Ira, with early hits including Oh Lady Be Good, Fascinating Rhythm, Strike Up the Band, and I Got Rhythm. After premiering his orchestral hit Rhapsody in Blue, he moved to Paris to study classical music, composing An American in Paris and later Concerto in F. Gershwin spent time in South Carolina studying Southern music and culture and composed a full-length opera with DuBose Hayward entitled Porgy and Bess, which included his biggest hit song, Summertime. For the last few years of his life, Gershwin moved to Hollywood and composed numerous film scores. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the list. Talking about the lives of some of these composers is just fascinating, and we owe them so much credit because their songs spread not only in musical theater and film, but also into the jazz and pop worlds. If you're a jazz musician, you should Google these composers' names and check out their list of compositions, because even though you might not recognize their names, you probably play many of their songs, and it's really interesting to see the similarities and differences between the song styles. Please let me know your comments below, and if you think I left anyone out. Thanks so much again to all of our Patreon supporters who donate as little as $1 a month to help support the channel, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We'll see you next time.